Never do it with the URL, Tracy.
I'm sorry.
Post the link. Should be the link right there.
I put the man up behind me, so we can all applaud him.
Yay.
You have to think about this though, guys. Like seriously, he's been working for that, albeit small victory for now, for 30 somewhat years. I mean, he's got to be celebrating tonight with like champagne and all kinds of stuff.
I mean, it's out of his hands. He's literally taking it as far as it can go, and it's up to the senators now. So we just have to hope that these people do their job and represent the people.
I think it will make it out of Senate. That is my prediction. But once again, since everybody knows that Obama can veto it, and as I said earlier, he's the shill for the bankers, I think Senate will throw Ron Paul and that work the bone as everybody expects him to do, and then Mr. Obama will do what everybody expects him to do and veto it.
Now, what percentage of the vote do we need to where Obama can't veto, and if he does, then we can supersede his veto? I believe that isn't there any percentage where we can just block his veto?
I believe it's 2/3. I believe it comes back to the House once he vetoes it, and as long as 2/3 approve it at the House, then it still passes.
So,
which we got.
Well, no, it has to come back to get the 2/3 again.
Right.
So basically, we have to keep on the House of Representatives to all those people in the Congress and the Senate. We need to push both of them. There's no giving up just because we got one done. We're halfway there, but...
You guys are also assuming that Obama will be president when this comes before the Senate.
Yeah, and I assume when it goes back to the House, it actually only needs to be the House that gives it to 2/3. I don't think the Senate needs approval after the president vetoes it, but I could be wrong. I want to not sit here and say like I'm an authority on that part of it.
Well, you don't know everything, Brian?
Between me and my buddy, I do.
Tracy told me you were the guy to talk to about everything.
Yeah, well, because I can Google everything. So, if you need something, I'll just look up real quick here and Google it.
Perfect. Well, we brought you two, at least the people who are here, I brought you guys up here because I think that we have all three now. We're four. Perfect. Hi,
there
Susan.
She is.
Hey guys, how are you doing?
Perfect. So, I brought you guys up here because I thought that we need to keep informing about Paul Fest. We can't let people just kind of forget about it. People kind of get preoccupied with their everyday lives. And there's no one more educated about Paul Fest than you three people. So I thought that I'd start off by Brian. Who do you think the big main attract be this year at Paul Fest?
Ooh, that is probably the toughest question you're going to ask me tonight. My opinion is what I want to see is Peter Schiff. I've never really got to see him speak publicly. During the Revolution March and being involved in the movement since 2008, there's a lot of people I've got to see and talk to, and he's not one of them. And he's a very intelligent person with a lot of things to say. His father, Irwin, is, I think a hero in my mind at this point for everything he's done. So I would have to say Peter Schiff. And, I know as a festival everybody wants music. But in this case, I think the speaker has to take it, and that's Schiff.
I think – oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Interesting segue is that I'll have on my show tomorrow Andrew Schiff talking about his dad and that whole, thing that's going on. So it's amazing. They need our help, so we're going to try and help them because they need us.
Well, I think it'll be just good airing that out and putting their issue in the sunlight, too. I mean, not a lot of people knew about Irwin and why he went to jail or prison, and I think he should be out. There's no way that he should be in prison. He's proven it with Supreme Court cases that he shouldn't be in prison, and there's just not enough light shed on it. So we need to make sure that once we do learn about it and we are educated on it more, we need to spread that message with people outside of Paul Fest, because just because some thousands of people know about it, we need to continue growing that number to millions of people.
Agreed.
You know, and it's funny because I think, and it's sad to say this, but it's the non-sheeple, the people in the movement that are sympathetic towards Irwin Schiff. You know, everybody else, their stupid comments would be like, well, if he didn't pay his taxes, he deserves this, and you know you're supposed to pay your taxes. And, you know, I watched Susan roll her eyes with the effect that I hope everybody has when you hear something like that. But, you know, that's the sad part about this country and the sheepleness that exists around this country, and it's our job to wake people up, and it's Paul Festival's job to inspire people to get there and hear the stories that need to be told that the media is not telling.
So, Susan, who is your most anticipated act, whether it's music or speaker? Who are you looking forward to?
I know what she's going to say.
Uh-oh.
That's so horrible, but I really cannot wait to see Rebel Inc. Okay, you know, I watch their videos all the time. I love their music. I think their message is wonderful. I just want to give a shout out for the song No Song. If you haven't heard it, YouTube that. It's a great song. I can't wait to see them live. I think they're going to be really energetic, and you know, just the entire energy of the event is really going to put forth a lot into their performance. And Kevin and I have been talking. It's really going to be a great show.
I agree. And Tracy, how about you? Come on, favorites?
I have so many. I think I can't wait, even though I've seen them so many times, for Jordan and Tatiana. I just love them both. They're like my little Liberty family friends out there.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at the comments. That's part of the reason I'm laughing.
The beard war, him and Adam Kokesh's beard war. I don't know who's winning, though.
I think
on your head.
Well, you know, and I think since Adam shaved the two sides, I might actually get the Most Righteous Beard Award.
So, well,
I actually really love Hawkboy. I just noticed Brent Crowley saying something about Hawkboy in the chat area, and I really love their music that I've had an opportunity to hear, but I'm waiting to hear back from them now to confirm their time slot. So if you can get in touch with those guys, get them in touch with me, okay, Brent? That'd be great.
Nice. John got his VIP ticket in the mail today. So, John, I expect my VIP ticket in the mail soon, too. Being you think that I have this 5-minute speaking spot that I have not talked to anyone about yet. Not one person has come forward and talked to me about it. So
we did. We've spoken about you, my dear, and I told you that.
And you guys shot that down faster than...
No.
It was 2/3, just so you know. It went to the House floor, and...
Right? 2/3 vote against matlarson10 speaking there. See how it is.
I'm not going to tell you who the names were, though.
Well, I think I know what Tracy voted, so... She didn't want me to show her up. I was going to sing the national anthem with her in kind of like a duet style, but my voice can go a little bit higher than her sometimes when I go falsetto. Trying to read the comments at the same time. I want Matt to sing. So, does anybody have any questions now that we have all three of them up here? I know that you guys were asking some before we had them all up here, but what are your hard-pressed questions to kind of ask some of the names of Paul Fest?
Didn't somebody tell me you had a controversial question for us? Are you saving that?
I'm saving that.
Okay.
I'm saving that. You'll never know, you know, and if all of a sudden you guys start to get boring, I'll just throw the fastball out there all of a sudden. What do you think about that?
I see Randy asked how many people are allowed in the building. The expo hall actually holds 10,000 people, but the fairgrounds itself will hold up to 100,000 people. So please feel free to invite all your friends.
And what are some of the extra amenities that are going to be there? Like I heard that there might be Wi-Fi, there's showers and stuff there, but if you guys could just educate us on what's actually going to be there.
Well, there's beer there. I think I want to make sure that's first and foremost that we talk about. There will be beer there. Beyond that, yes, there's showers, there's camping, there's beer. Did I mention that already? There's awesome bands, awesome speakers. We're going to have food, all kinds of different foods. We have a children's activity area, and children 12 and under are welcome into this event free, by the way. So if you're sitting there thinking, oh my God, I got kids, what am I supposed to do? Bring them, bring them and their friends and their friends' friends. What else am I missing, Susan? There's more stuff there, isn't there?
The camping at the fairgrounds, Susan, you could speak to that.
Push the talk.
Stupid button. Anyway, yeah, there's absolutely enough camping area for hundreds of people to enjoy the party all weekend long, even after the fairgrounds stage closes each night. We are going to have a lot of fun. There is definitely showers and that sort of facility for people who are going to be camping there. If you haven't already bought your combo pass, do that now. Seriously, they're almost gone. You can buy your combo camping and ticket or right on the Paul Fest website, rather, and that camping pass is good for up to 8 people on your spot. So feel free to invite 7 of your friends. All you have to do is pay for their Paul Festival ticket, and you pay for your combo spot. That's 8 people per spot. It's going to be amazing. Actually, I see Jay just informed me in the chat area that the camping tickets are gone. So like anybody who didn't get one of those is SOL.
Oh, too bad. So sad.
There's other options.
Yeah,
correct?
absolutely. Well, we do still have some RV spots available as well there on the campground. So you can go to the Fall Festival website to the travel and lodging section and book your RV spot there if you want to do that. And hold on just a moment, please.
Also, sorry. Also, there's other camping, correct, Susan? Camp Liberty camping?
Camp Liberty is going to be amazing. It's opening up on the 23rd, actually, which is that Thursday for people who want to arrive early before Fall Festival. We're going to be renvoying people back and forth from Camp Liberty as well. Camp Liberty is owned by a Ron Paul supporter named Jeff Griffin. It's going to be amazing. They are also going to have musical artists playing during the week of the RNC out there at Camp Liberty. Thousands of people out at Camp Liberty, lake, grills, all the good stuff, gazebos and that type of thing. That is really going to be the party once Fall Festival gets over. So, definitely go out there.
And Camp Liberty is about how far away from the actual fairgrounds?
Camp Liberty is actually about 30 miles north. It is an amazing oasis of freedom, seriously. People can go to the Rides for Ron Paul website and locate Camp Liberty there, or they can just go to campfest2012.com, I believe, and find the information for that. It's going to be super cool out there.
I heard that they're going to have an actual shooting range at Camp Liberty too, so all you guys that like practicing your Second Amendment, definitely go down there, stay at that campground. If the campground is full near the fairgrounds, stay there, bring your gun, and have a little fun. Make sure you practice safe Second Amendment rights, but practice them. Who knows what happens? Too much Liberty beer, and you go down there and you practice Second Amendment rights, and your aim might be off a little bit, and you might hit Kokesh in the butt. Who knows? I heard he's going to be down there shooting too, so it'll be a good time.
Can I talk about something pretty cool?
No.
Go. No.
No?
Yes.
Go ahead, Tracy.
Thank you. We are running a contest right now, and it's pretty damn amazing, I gotta say. Any day that you buy a ticket, if you buy a ticket anytime from today through August 8th, you're automatically entered into our contest. So if you buy one Fall Festival ticket, you get 1 entry. If you buy a Ronvoy package, you get 3 entries into the contest. And just to go over a few of the prizes, one of them is a Skype date with Tatiana Moroz, and the other is actually a real live date with Adam Kokesh on Friday the 24th. So he's going to take you out, and even if you're a guy, wine you and dine you. So that's something pretty damn cool. If you buy a ticket through, any day from today through the 8th, you're automatically entered in that contest. There's a bunch of other prizes as well. So you can take a look on our website, paulfestival.org, and you can find all that stuff.
And just to address someone's comment down below, somebody said that Kokesh is saying to vote for Gary Johnson. He's actually incorrect, the person down there. Kokesh is saying that if Ron Paul does not get nominated and win the nomination down in Tampa, he said to change your vote over to Gary Johnson. So, just to clear up his words.
If Kokesh told you to jump off a bridge, would you do it?
Exactly. James, because this is his opinion, no one knows what our chances are until we get down to actually the RNC. We don't know how many delegates we have. We don't know how many Romney has. All this is just speculation. Good one, John. It made me lose my train of thought. But we can't give up no matter what, even after the nomination process. We don't know what else could happen. Who knows what happens to Romney? Romney has quite a few skeletons in his closet that could knock him out of attention too. So there's never time to give up on Ron Paul.
Not only that, but the Liberty Movement is so much bigger than Ron Paul for presidency. This is going to go on long after Ron Paul is retired from politics. So, while we shouldn't give up on getting, fighting the good fight that we're fighting for here for the good doctor, we have to remember that this is much, much bigger than the man. It's about the message, and that's what we're fighting for.
Agreed. Does anybody want to make some money that has a website?
I think you have to check if they're 18 first.
Shame. Who has a website that wants to make money?
I have a website, but someone else.
That gets more than 3 hits a week.
Okay, yes, then I do not fall under that.
Okay. Brian, please speak about our affiliate program.
Okay, I knew that's where you were going with this. Coming soon, I want to say in the next 24 hours, we should have a link up on our site, and we will now have an affiliate program, and you can sell tickets to Paul Festival through your website, and every ticket you sell, you will earn $2 for every ticket, Paul Festival ticket you sell through your website. And this will be an all-out affiliate program. Everything will be tracked and logged, and you will actually get paid. This is no joke affiliate program. We have some good professionals working on this over at startbutton.com. So if you want to check out who they are, just go over to startbutton.com, and you can get the information there on who we're working with on this. But I think that's great. It's a great way to promote Paul Festival. It's a great way to get the word out. Basically, the goal here is to make this the largest festival for freedom the world has ever seen, and to do that, we're reaching out to everyone out there to take part in this in every way possible, and that is including making some money off of this event if you'd like.
Well, tell you what. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's your show, Matt. It's your show.
I have a website. It is fightforfreedom.net. I will put that up on my website, and every I make, I will donate that money. That we will pool that all together. And however many tickets it buys, I will sponsor however many people I can get down to Paul Fest. And all you have to do is provide the transportation and the lodging.
You're such a sweetheart.
Well, Shane won my ticket, so I figure I got to, pay it forward.
That's awesome. Also, people are asking down there if you don't have a website, is there any way you can share the link or anything like that, Brian?
I will get the details on that. Once again, since Start Button is putting this together for us, there are some limitations, but I don't think that's one of them. So I believe you can share that link. Should be able to share it on your Facebook and other places. If not, I believe I can get Start Button to make a landing page for you.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
That's great. People have more questions.
Someone earlier asked if Ron Paul is not speaking at our event because we're a PAC. First of all, we are actually a nonprofit Florida corporation and a super PAC, so we are both. Our PAC has nothing to do with Ron Paul's decision, his campaign. was silently planning an event in Tampa for a while now on the event that, or on the idea that they were probably not going to get the nomination. When I spoke to Ron Paul a week ago, he had told me then that they don't have the 5 states needed to be on the floor for him to speak, and they believed that sooner, so they went through and put on their event. He wants to put on his event to honor the delegates, and he got a message to deliver, and so therefore he's going to do that at his event. He has said to us that he supports our event 100%, and he is very happy and proud of what we have done.
And we're actually working with him and their camp actually on Sunday, right, Susan? Susan's frozen.
Uh-oh. Somebody froze Susan. I'll answer the question until she's on frozen. We are working with them. We are actually going to be streaming their event at our event. So their stadium only holds about 12,000 people. Like we said before, we can hold up to 50, 80,000 people, somewhere in there. I hear different numbers from the fairgrounds every day, but let's just go ahead with 50,000. So not everybody who's going down to Tampa will be able to get into Ron Paul's event regardless. So if you're going down there to make a big splash with us, if you don't have your tickets to the Ron Paul event, which I do, and I'll raffle off here at some point, not for my own benefit, for Paul festivals, but if you don't have your ticket to get the Ron Paul event, you can still stay at our event and watch Ron Paul's event. Welcome on Frozen, Susan.
So you guys are going to be streaming Ron Paul's event over at Paul Fest then, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
And Susan, I'll tell them about the great details of getting the delegates back and forth.
Absolutely. We're actually working directly with the campaign, and
Can you guys hear?
Yeah.
Oh, weird, I can't.
Go ahead, Susan.
We're actually working directly with the campaign. They're providing bus transportation for all of the delegates, alternates, and all of their guests to get from Paul Festival on Sunday morning over to Ron Paul's event. They're going to have VIP seating inside Ron Paul's event, so they want to make sure that they get them over there and get them into the right entrance. We are also, after Chuck Baldwin's Sunday morning service, we are going to load up and convoy over to Dr. Paul's event. We're going to plan to do that about 10 a.m., and Dr. Paul's event starts at noon, so we're going to make some noise out there around the Sun Dome and make sure that the public sees us. And I'm sure that everyone knows how much support Dr. Paul actually has. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then after his event gets over at about 4:30, we're going to be heading down to the Tropicana Field to make some noise outside there and to welcome Dr. Paul and all of the delegates into the welcome event. The first time ever that he's been welcome to attend the RNC welcome event, and this is going to be huge.
Awesome.
That is going to be huge, without a doubt.
We've had a bunch of people asking about ticket sales.
Yes, buy them. Yes.
I just want to say, like, I don't know, I want to say that, this event is not free for us to do. False. Could not be further from the truth. I said before on my status, if I had $1 for everyone who said I was making $1 from Paul Festival, I'd be rich, or I'd be making money off of Paul Festival. No, nobody, no one, 0 people are making money off of this at all. 0.
Except for those who participate in the affiliate program.
Right. Exactly.
So, Tracy, are you ready to release 23 years of your past tax records due to the American people, just to make sure?
Hell yeah. I need nothing. So you guys want to see how poor I am? You can see. It's fine with me.
Full disclosure, I've been a tax protester since 2004, so you're not going to get in my tax records.
Very nice.
I have a clear message to the IRS.
So basically, hi Trinity. Sorry, I had to say that. People keep asking about how many tickets you guys have sold, and it's hard to say because that number, I'm sure there isn't like a ticker someplace like that you guys have. So basically, no one really knows. It's a large amount, and I think that more people will kind of come up the day of, just because they're not going to know right away if they can make it. I think that a lot of local people and nearby state people We'll probably drive there. I'm guessing probably Saturday and Sunday will be the busier days, just because I know people are going to travel from all over the United States to go see their chance to see Ron Paul down in the Sundome. So I think that that'll help draw in more people too. So just because they're not reserving their tickets or purchasing their tickets now doesn't mean that there's not going to be a lot of people there. So when people ask numbers, well, actually now it's less than a month away. It's literally like 29 days away, I think, till Paul Fest, isn't it?
Yeah, but we've been doing really well with ticket sales without releasing up-to-date numbers because I don't have those. Susan, do you have those? Somebody that does that that's not with us right now, and honestly, we don't necessarily I don't focus every day. How many tickets we sold today? So, but I know we've sold lots of tickets, but we need to sell more. So everyone needs to buy one. That's pretty much what I'm going to say on that.
And I got to add this: the ticket company that we use, why I like the relationship with them, their reporting leaves a little bit to be desired there. So we are running a pretty big lag on when we actually sell the tickets to get reports on it. They know this, and they're working on giving us better reporting. So it's hard to give an update. I know that sounds like a cop out, and it's not, but this is what happens when you don't use the big companies like Ticketmaster and all the other corporate giants out there.
We're going to do another ticket-a-thon thingy, correct, Brian? 2 more, I believe, right?
Yes, we do have one. The August 8th is scheduled. I know you and I were working on one, I think, for August 1st as well, Tracy.
Now, actually, I saw a good question down below. Why don't you guys go through and tell us what ticket packages you have, whether what VIP all-in prices of tickets, and what's still available, I guess.
VIP is pretty much selling out quickly, so if you're going to do VIP, I suggest the next day or two you get it done or you're not going to get it. The 3-day pass, without a doubt, is our most popular, and it makes sense when you look at the value of that. So when you break it down, really, there's just I couldn't think of any other reason why not to do a 3-day pass, and that is our most popular that we can tell.
What is all in the VIP, though? Like, what different access do you gain from spending the extra money? I believe it's $250, isn't it?
I don't even know the prices off the top of my head.
I think it's still at 250, yes.
Which was too low for everything that you get. You get VIP access to the VIP lounge, which is where all the celebrities and speakers are going to be hanging out when they're not actually on stage. Beverages over the course of the 3-day event, which if you've ever been to a festival, you know that beverages are super expensive, and it's going to be 100,000 degrees down there, so that alone is worth the VIP pass as far as I'm concerned. You'll get a specific special line for vendors where you'll be able to get all of your goodies faster than everybody else. I mean, I will say that the VIP passes, they probably should have been more expensive because of their value. There are very few left, and anybody who gets one is really going to be part of kind of an exclusive group. You'll get your pictures and your autographs with all of the different speakers and celebrities, and before.
She froze again.
Aye.
Oh.
It's going to.
Now she's back. Susan, you're back now. You're moving.
My computer sucks so well. Anyway, yeah, it's going to be really cool. If you haven't already gotten your VIP pass, don't feel like you're missing out by getting just a standard ticket, because the entire weekend is going to be incredible. I can't imagine why anyone would want to miss it. And I think it's really funny that people are asking, how many tickets are sold and basing their decision to go to Fall Festival on how many tickets we've sold at this point. If I wanted to see Smashing Pumpkins, for instance, in concert, which, I wouldn't call them up and say, well, how many tickets have sold? Because I want to see them. So, all these Speak Rockwell, Shift, I can't wait to see them all, and Rebel Inc., of course. And so I would be going down there regardless as to whether anybody else wanted to miss it or not.
And it's kind of like that theory, if everyone that wanted to vote voted for Ron Paul, well, you can kind of turn it around. If however many people wanted to go to Paul Fest actually just went to Paul Fest instead of waiting to be in the cool crowd, just so a large crowd would be there.
How much cooler can you get? Like, seriously, I don't think anybody that's not on this list of performers and speakers in the movement. Everybody, I mean, Lou Rockwell, Tom Woods, Peter Schiff. I mean, it's really ridiculous. Red Jumpsuit Apparatus, Jordan Page, Tatiana Moroz, Golden State. I mean, you can't name an act that's in the Liberty Movement that's not going to be there. What's the problem? Go, please. It's great.
Somebody mentioned in the chat Amy Allen. We have been trying to get Amy Allen. She actually did a contact through our website and has not responded to us since then. So if everybody wants, feel free to hit her up, Facebook, Twitter, anything else, and tell her she must be at Paul Festival. We will make room for Amy Allen at Paul Festival as soon as she agrees to do it. So let's do what the movement is best and email blast her and get her to go there.
And everybody promote events on your pages too, guys. Get the word out there, as many people as possible. Like, just make sure everyone knows about it. Make sure everyone buys tickets to it. Make sure everybody's there. It's going to be it's the most amazing weekend in our movement ever.
I agree. You guys, it looks like it's coming up to the end of the first 30 minutes. I thank you all for coming on. Tracy, Susan, Brian, thank you for taking the time out tonight and actually come on here and talk with everyone, and I guess just keeping us up to date on Paul Fest. I really look forward to having you guys on here later too to kind of give us another update on what other performers might have signed up and just kind of the finalized plans and stuff like that for Paul Fest. So thank you all, and I hope to see you all very, very soon.
Did I miss the controversial question?
We didn't get it.
Saving it.
Jeez. All right. Thanks for having us on, Matt. We appreciate it.
No problem. Anytime, guys. Have a good night.
You too.
Night, Matt.
Shout out to Dr. Steve before I leave.
All right, Dr. Steve.
Talk to you later, man. Thanks.
All right. So that was very, very good. Nim wants a high five. Here's a high five, Nim. You just got a high five. And Mr. Dan Kaiser is our next person. I am very ready. Mr. Kaiser, how's it going, man?
Pretty good. Be here. I like that first half. That got me in the right mood.
That was a very, very good interview. It went much better than last week's unscripted kind of Royal Rumble that took place in here, so it was very good. But so Dan, basically, I would like you to tell us who you are and what you are doing here, basically. Why do we want Dan Kaiser on the show? What do you have to do for the people, basically? Tell us your background.
Well, hello, everybody, and thanks for having me on, Matt. Who I am, what I'm about, the reason I wanted to come out and just talk to everybody is I've been an avid Ron Paul supporter, delegate in 2008, delegate 2012. Right now, I've kind of took in Ron Paul's lead to get involved. He helped cure my apathy, and right now I'm currently running for District 3 State House in South Dakota. And anytime I can get into a public venue like this and talk a little bit about the great cause of liberty, our revolution that we're in the middle of right now. And of course, it is self-serving to get out, get my name out there, and hopefully generate some support for me and other liberty candidates around the nation so we can take this country back from the state level all the way up.
Yeah, man, I agree with you. You have the right message and the right method to do it, too, on how we need to take back our government. You can't start just at the top. Even if you cut the head off and we get Obama out and Ron Paul in, it still is not going to fix everything. So you definitely have the right path, I guess, to the end. You start at the bottom and you go up. House of Representatives definitely is not the bottom. You're probably starting in the middle towards the top, but you are trying to make a difference, which is good. So I actually have a video clip that I want to play. Just give me 1 second. Sorry about that. But basically, Dan, why don't you give us your history? I know some people might be upset about it, but I think you definitely served our nation proud, and you're still doing that right now. So.
Yeah, thanks. That's a funny thing about this movement we're wrapped up into is, for those of you who don't know me, I'm a police officer. I'm a Iraq vet and a Bosnia vet. And it's kind of funny being in this movement because we have some folks who ultimately want to write me off because of my history. And I'll tell you what, doing those things and being a cop has made me stronger and more understanding to how a constitutional republic is the answer in getting people in the appropriate stages in government, elected officials, who actually believe the Constitution, and when they raise their hand to swear to it, there's actually something behind it. And with me, there's something behind it.
Yeah, I think that sometimes people just kind of get the wrong stereotype about ex-military and police. So, but I actually have a video clip here. I'm not the only one that has YouTube videos, so I just want to play something really quick for you guys.
Sounds good. Thank you, JD. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. I'm just excited to be part of your Tea Party. So as you can assume, as a police officer, I don't get invited to too many parties anymore. So I'm just riled up to be at a party. Thank you. It's good to see so many people out there today ready to take back their individual rights. Proud to be here with you today. Nancy Pelosi had once said that this is an AstroTurf movement, meaning it's fake with nothing real to back it. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. And I wish she was here today to see all of you working hard, chanting, coming out, spreading the message of freedom to let her know that this is a grassroots movement, that we are in this until we win it, until we get our individual rights back. Thomas Jefferson once said, and I quote, "I predict future happiness for Americans if they can prevent the government from wasting the labors of the people under the pretense of taking care of them." End quote. And what do we have in America today? A huge, ever-expanding federal government aimed at stealing your money and putting it into their pockets. And they're telling you that it's for you. It's a good thing. It's in your best interest. It's to take care of you. Thomas Jefferson warned us of a government, warned us of a tyrannical government in which when the people fear the government, they live in tyranny. But only when the government fears the people will they be free. And we're all here today to put some fear into that government. To let them know we're not going to sit idly by and watch you take our God-given rights away from us. We will make a stand.
So basically, that's just kind of a quick history. I know that that's not everything that Dan stands for. I'm sure he has many other stances and beliefs. And Dan, I guess I'd like you to kind of just go down that list that you have on your House of Reps page, just on some of your issues, basically on gun rights, what you believe on how government should be involved in our lives, and just what is your philosophy on government, in essence?
Well, that sounds enough. Gun rights, that's an easy one to take care of. Obviously, everybody in this movement's aware of the Second Amendment. We all understand that we have the right to keep and bear arms, not so we can go hunting, not so we can protect ourselves from criminals on the street, but ultimately, like George Washington said, the reason we have that right is so we have the ability to overthrow our own government if it becomes too tyrannical. And just to clarify, I'm not advocating that right now or anything. I'm definitely a member of this peaceful revolution. But I think a lot of folks got that wrong. When they're talking about Second Amendment rights, you'll hear Mitt Romney's garbage coming out of his mouth talking about how so-called assault weapons aren't welcome in his state because they have no practical hunting purpose. Well, He's an idiot, and he doesn't understand that you don't have guns so you can go shoot a deer 1 weekend a month while you get your approved licensing, of course, and you have all your appropriate orange clothing on. But it's actually so we have the ability to overthrow our government. And of course, if we make guns illegal, the only people who are going to have guns is the criminals. And in an unarmed populace, the criminals who are going to get guns because they're bad people are going to have shooting sprees all over the country, and good people can't do anything about it. So the gun thing is very near and dear to my heart. I'm an avid carrier myself. I tell all my friends and family to be avid carriers, because you never know when you walk into a convenience store, what if that convenience store is being robbed and you can't do anything about it. You're just going to stand there and cower and watch a good person running the counter get shot, when you had the ability to carry out your Second Amendment rights and carry concealed and stop a murder, but you chose not to. I find that upsetting. I'm a big advocate of people carrying, and I think everybody should carry. The more guns we have out there, the safer we're going to be. It sounds counterintuitive, but God, it's the truth. It just makes sense. He asked me about government involvement in my life. I don't want them involved in my life at all unless I take away somebody else's rights, or if I infringe on somebody else's right. We have our right to life, liberty and pursuit of happiness, and if you actually look in depth to the beginning of the country, pursuit of happiness was actually the replacement. Originally, it was property. It was life, liberty, and property, but they had believed that if they give you a right to property, then in the future, people will think the government has to give them property. But what they're saying is you have a right to your individual property, an unalienable right, not inalienable. The correct pronunciation would be unalienable, which means a lien can't be placed on your property or your life from the government. They got nothing. They can't have it. So as far as the government being involved, I don't want them to be. I don't want the government telling me what I can and can't put in my body. I don't want the government telling me who I can and can't marry. I did happen to marry my wife and have a kid. That's the way I choose to live. If you don't choose to live that way and it doesn't affect me, then I don't care. Have at it. Be a free, ambient being with your God-given rights. It's only when people go to remove the rights from somebody through force, holding a gun to them, stealing, something to that effect, then the government should intervene and say, hey, no, we as a government, our sole purpose here is to defend the rights of our individuals, not group rights, but individual liberty. And I guess that pretty much sums up my whole philosophy of government. If they are doing it, they're doing it poorly, and they probably shouldn't be. Just protect the borders, protect us from bad criminals who want to invade the country. But with our gun rights, no one's just, because they know every house they're going to go to, they're going to get shot. And yeah, just leave me alone. Let me keep the fruits of my labor, and let me do what I want to do as long as I'm not infringing on anybody else's rights.
So what made you pursue the House of Representatives? I understand that you were a delegate in 2008, and also you were in 2012. What made you take that next step, basically? What made you go farther than most people that actually do become delegates? And I mean, even becoming a delegate is one step up from just voting. You are actually going through the political process and trying to do something for our country. I'm not saying that voting isn't doing anything, but a delegate is actually the person that goes and votes for us. So you're actually one-upping that, and you are trying to join the House of Representatives to represent the people. What pushed you to do that?
Well, again, my apathy got cured way back in about 2003, 2004, and I realized I wanted to get more involved. And on the involvement token, we don't need everybody to run for House, but I would love for all of us liberty-minded folks to be out there and running for state office. But one thing that we overlook a lot is precinct committee men and women within the Republican Party of the county that we live in. A lot of times these things go unfilled, so you'd be not challenged if you decided to run, and then you'd have a voice at your party's to change or abolish your party's platform on the state level. So I really want to get other folks out there running for precinct committee man and woman. I ran for that. I'm a precinct committee man for my party here in South Dakota. We had our convention a couple weeks ago, and we got some really good things in there. Republican Party platform for the state is to stop or nullify any Agenda 21 movements from the UN. And I just started ranting here, and I forgot the other half of your question, so you'll have to hit me with that again.
Basically, what made you choose the House of Representatives? Was it you thought it was going to be a little bit easier to get into compared to like a congressman, or I know that there might be some age limitations on some of those things too. So, what made the House of Representatives such a thing to you, I guess?
Well, specifically here in South Dakota, is each district has about, each voting district, the district I'm running for, has 22,000 folks in it. So that, in a rural state, 22,000, that's Aberdeen, South Dakota about. There's more than that in the city, but that tells me my whole district's in the city. So my whole district, I can go knock on the doors. So it's something that's achievable. If I was to run for U.S. Congress right out of the bat, nobody knows me, and we only got one congressman, so I got to cover the whole state. Well, I don't have the money to be driving from one end of the state to the other end of the state. So this helps me get my name out there a little bit more visible within the party and statewide. It does help our state because we need to get liberty-minded folks into the state movement to understand such things as nullification, just so we can kind of flex our state's rights under the 10th Amendment, of course. Another big issue for me there was just getting involved with South Dakota House. When Dr. Ron Paul cured my apathy, I was calling these state representatives and saying, hey, you're doing this wrong, you shouldn't, this bill, I don't agree with you here. And I realized after I got talking to some of our sitting reps that they get elected because they like politics. They like the status quo. They want to go, for us, Pierre, the capital of South Dakota, they want to go there and make friends and do better off. I have no ambition to go in there and making friends. I want to go there and butt heads with someone. And like I've told other folks in my district, is we might need a cop in there because there are a lot of criminals state legislator right now. And I want to go there, clean house, point out some unethical, immoral, and just downright illegal things these folks are doing. And I've kind of got the tenacity to do it. You know, it's kind of a cliche, I suppose, on some regards, but after you've been shot at, people can sling some words at you or whatever, and it just doesn't have the same effect. So feel free to drag me through the mud. I got drugged through the mud after my Tea Party speech when I was talking about the income tax. They hit me in the papers with that, but just bring it on.
What do you think the biggest way that we could help you right now, whether it's gaining publicity or through donations? What do you think is going to be the biggest help to you? Do you think you're going to be able to outspend? I guess I have no idea how much money, like campaigns, how much it costs to run a campaign for the House of Representatives.
I think the old adage is that there's two things that are important in politics. One is money, and, well, who cares about the other? I mean, that's kind of horrible, but it is the reality of it. The biggest way folks can help me out is by going to my website, kaiser4forhouse.com, and click on the donate page. Even $1. I mean, if somebody could just give me $1, if I can get a couple hundred people giving me $1, that's going to help out. My main goal here is to raise about $10,000, because that's what I'm going to need for this state run, which leaves me about $7,000 short right now. I have raised a pretty decent amount of money right now. Bought a bunch of things like my yard signs pointed over my wrong shoulder. There we are. Bought some litter, mailings, because I got to get, mailings, business cards, flyers, door hangers. I got to get robocalls, all that stuff to win. So really the biggest two things are, one, money, and two, name recognition. And my name recognition ain't that bad in the community, because I've done a lot of community events, one through the police department I work for, and as well just with my own free time, canned food drives, stuff like that, blood donation, charity events. But name recognition, just people sending out emails, making posts on YouTube, whatever it might be, and of course, money.
Does anybody have any questions for Dan? By the way, guys, I did put his website down below. It is kaiserforhouse.com. It's that link second to the bottom. So go there, check it out, read everything up on him. I know some people say that words are just words, and when people like to go off past history, but if you're not able to give a guy a chance, how is he ever going to have a history? And I think Dan's record at the Aberdeen Police Department is very, very representative of his personal liberty beliefs. I don't think that you're going to see him going around doing a lot more of the petty things, I guess, in the police department. He's not just going to be going to people and harassing them, asking them for his papers. You're not supposed to be here. This is semi-private property. Get off the sidewalk. Go take your bike someplace else. You're not going to see Dan worrying about that. Dan's going to be in his car, actually patrolling the streets and keeping you safe. He's not going to be out there knocking on your door, telling you your radio's too loud. Turn this down, your bonfire. Can I see your permit for your fire? Can you show me the proof that you have permission to be on this land? Dan's not going to be one of those, I hate to use these words, but a Nazi cop, basically, where he's just out there kind of, show me your papers. So I think America would be much better off if we had more police like Dan out there. You would see much less of them because they'd be staying out of your lives. They'd be letting you live, and unless you called them, I don't believe he's out there harassing you. So let's see. Tracy, how can we encourage our police and sheriff to stop the unconstitutional crap?
Well, one of the best ways is actually by contacting them. I know our city council meetings and such, very rarely do we have the public coming out and voicing a complaint with whether it's a policy that the sheriff's office is doing at a county commission meeting or a policy that the local police department is enforcing or a way that they're doing something. Very rarely does anybody actually come out and speak out at these meetings. What we do get a lot of is just the sidewalk attorney, if you want to say. You know, I'll have people saying whatever to me, you know, F you, F that. And of course, they're free to do that. Have a great day. But if they could just take that energy, put it into a formidable argument about what the department is enforcing and the moral issue behind it and how it's bad, and go to a city council meeting, I think you'd actually find some support not only in the community, but also from the council. So I'd encourage you to go to your county commission meetings and your city council meetings and speak out.
And I see another question. How effective have you been at influencing your other officers with the message of liberty? Basically, do you try to keep, I guess, politics out of work, or do you have good friends at your PD where you actually do talk to them about it and try to have them shape their of certain laws the same as you, I guess?
Well, I'd say about 99% of cops that I've met, that I've got to know, are Republican. Now, obviously, they're neocons. Now, where I work, I feel I've been pretty good about influencing things. I've had some talk with some administrators. And everybody should know my hypocrisy only goes so far between what's constitutionally legal versus what's going to keep me employed. And I think I'd like to think that having me as an officer over somebody who doesn't give a crap about the Constitution, my hypocrisy only goes so far. But I've had talks with administrators within our department. We had a drug house. I know, guys, try not to hit me too hard in the blogs, but we had a drug house. I was doing what I had to keep my job. And a search warrant was typed up. And I was told by my administrators I got to do one for the vehicle as well. I said, well, I don't have probable cause. There are drugs in the vehicle. They said, well, just put it in front of the judge and see if he'll sign it. I said, no way. That's not the way you do business. If that judge was speeding down the street, I would hold him accountable to the law and issue a ticket. Now, why would I not hold him accountable to the law when filling out an affidavit for a search warrant? That just blew my mind. And and I won that argument. I wasn't forced to do anything. So that's one way I'm influencing them too. That Sheriff Richard Mack book, I don't know if everybody's read that, but Sheriff Richard Mack out of, I want to say Arizona, not 100% on that, but he wrote a couple great books, and I've passed them on to our administrators. I've got them information about the income tax, and actually my campaign treasurer is another officer, on the department, and one of my folks on my campaign team is another officer on the department. So everybody knows that I stand for liberty, and that's what I'm for. And I believe I am influencing a lot. I would think if we took a poll by the folks I've had to influence on a daily basis about marijuana, for instance, I think over half would be in favor of legalizing. So I'd say I've been pretty influential, and I'm pretty proud of that. I want to keep that up in a way, and this just comes with education, the moral argument of marijuana. So for me to keep that up is by getting elected, and I need all the help I can to do that.
There's someone, Ron Paul Billboards, if you want to start podcasting, do you want to speak with him now or later? We only have 3 minutes left, so if we have some more questions, maybe, okay. Why don't you hop, you know how to do this, basically start broadcasting, Pat Jack? Okay.
Hi, Dan. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. I wanted to tell you about a political action committee that is based in Texas, and they have offices in Tennessee as well, in Kentucky as well, excuse me. And the founder of this PAC, Political Action Committee, it's a super PAC, is John Ramsey. And he is a delegate from the state of Texas to the RNC. And Liberty Live Stream Team, I don't know if you heard of them, they did live streaming at several of the conventions, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and we received a nice donation on our chip-in for Liberty Live Stream Team from PAC Liberty. So what I'm saying is if PACLiberty.com, and Preston Bates, he's the director of PAC Liberty. He's very accessible. He answers his calls. He returns his calls. And I really want to encourage you to call them. And I think a $1,000 donation from PACLiberty.com would be, it's just a cinch. All you have to do is reach out to them, really, because you're exactly the kind of candidate that they want to support. They want to support Liberty candidates, and they want to identify these candidates. And they're coming off a big win with Thomas Massey. They supported him, and I think they spent upwards of $80,000 on his campaign. So I really think that you're of the right age. If you get in the House and you're in the House for 8 years, you know that's the door to open up to congressional offices and national offices. Please call PACLiberty.com, get on the horn, call them, and just make contact with them, or have a representative of yours make contact with them, because when the candidate makes direct contact with a PAC, it's a one-shot deal. You make contact with them the first time, and then that's it. You can't have any more contact with them. So you solicit them basically for assistance, and then that's kind of it, you know. But get the word out to Preston about you, and if he knows you're going door to door, if he knows you're spending shoe leather door to door, you're really going to impress them, all right? So do that, and I'm finished. Thanks.
Thank you for the advice. I will get right on that. Once I get done with this, that's the first thing I'm going to do is go to that website. So thank you so much. Really appreciate that.
You're very welcome.
Dan,
thanks for your work.
Dan, you got the website down? Okay,
Yep.
Good to go. So basically, did anyone else have any questions? One last question before we got to end this thing. Somebody asked, who else would you endorse voting for in addition to yourself? Now, Sovereign, are you talking about South Dakota House of Reps, or what specifically are you talking about? That's actually another really good question, too. We'll hold on to that one. How do you respond to people who tell you your country is unconstitutional?
Well, I can see their argument to it. But a lot of times I just got to put them into my frame of mind when I'm a 17-year-old high school kid who believes he's a patriot and wants to do everything he can for his country. And I do. I don't care to do much for my government, but I want to do everything I can for my country and to save liberty. So I can see your argument. I appreciate you bringing that up. I can't agree with it because that's not my feelings behind it. And I guess that's about all I can say to that.
I think the question was more directed towards, like, the enforcement of a few unconstitutional laws, like whether it's marijuana laws and stuff like that, and drug laws, and probably speeding tickets and seats and stuff like that. Like, it's kind of one of those things, I think, where I don't want to speak for you, but if you work at a company where you don't completely endorse everything the company does or represents, it's almost like one of those where you need to make a living, but you do agree with the majority of things like that you work for. Otherwise, you wouldn't do it if you were a moral person, because you just couldn't sleep at night. But I'll let you answer that one. That's just my take on it.
Gotcha. Okay, now I understand more. I thought you were talking more so about the Iraq War and being over in Iraq. I apologize. But definitely just straight law enforcement related. I think I do more good by actually helping people, because I get a lot of job satisfaction out of mom who calls in that her child's pedal bike was stolen. And in all reality, in today's law enforcement community, which crime is going to get more attention from the cops? The $50 stolen pedal bike or the kid smoking weed in the apartment complex? We all know it's the kid smoking weed at the apartment complex. So for me personally, I put everything I can in to getting those folks' stolen property back, because that just, honestly, it just pisses me off when people have their stuff stolen, especially when it's a kid. My favorite cop story ever was when I returned a stolen bike to an 8-year-old autistic boy, and I just felt like Superman with this little kid hugging me and high-fiving me. And it's so funny because a 20-year-old ended up stealing his bike, and I found him a few blocks away riding on the bike. So bad guy went to jail, and 8-year-old autistic kid got his pedal bike back. So again, my hypocrisy only goes so far. If I happen to come across an illegal drug, make sure I get my quotes up there on the video for all the folks listening, but something illegal, I'm going to do my job to require me getting a paycheck. But I think I do a lot more within the Constitution and a lot more focusing on helping people than going out of my way to write like a seatbelt ticket. And I can't make absolute statements when it comes to what enforcement I have taken or not taken, but I would challenge anybody to find any public record that says I've ever wrote a speeding ticket. A seatbelt ticket.
Well, I think you said it very well. I thank you for coming on, Dan. I'd love to have you on here again soon in the next coming weeks. Click it or ticket. Oh, it looks like somebody. What's up, Steve? Okay, Mr. Parent, why don't you hop up here?
Ah, there we go, Dan.
Yeah.
Dan, I honestly believe that, I appreciate you wanting to run for House. I think you should run for sheriff. I think if you ran for sheriff, we could get you the money and support you need. And if you've read Richard Matt's book, the county sheriff has the absolute authority over the President of the United States. And I think you are exactly the kind of person to set the example that people want to emulate in law enforcement with your views, because you've got the right views, but you're strangleholded right now because you said it yourself. You've got to do certain things to keep your job. If you became the sheriff, you are bound by nothing but the Constitution, which is exactly what you want to be bound by in the first place.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, and I'm definitely not opposed to that. And what's kind of funny about the situation I'm in right now is the House seat's 2 years. And in 2 years from now, our sheriff's position will be up. I've gotten a lot of encouragement from our Tea Party folks right here in town. And this is another avenue. If I'm able to get this, you got to see which one can I actually get more done for the cause, for the revolution. Can I get more done as a state rep or as the sheriff? So I think if I win this election, when I win this election, then in 2 years we'll have to reevaluate what can I get more done as the sheriff or state rep, because in 2 years then I'll have the name recognition to pretty much take the sheriff's office. So I guess I love the enthusiasm. Thank you, and it's definitely up there in my head.
Well, Dan, I understand what you're saying here, and I want you to know I support you. And when you've got your website and you're ready to do this, I don't know if you already have everything set up. Get with me, get with Matt. My group will hold a money bomb for you. We'll raise you some money. We'll do a Danathon like we did the Ronathon and the Shifathon, and we'll raise you some money and support, and hopefully we can get a good man like you in office. Thank you.
Thanks again. I really appreciate that. And that's really helpful to our cause, is just getting out and supporting Liberty candidates. So I just thank you so much.
Anyone, any other questions? We went over, but that's still fine. The Danathon with special guest Matt Larson. Perfect. Sovereign, sorry. Repeat the question one more time, please. Sorry. Oh, in South Dakota you're talking about, correct, Sovereign? Sorry, I never saw your, okay. Any other candidate that you would support or endorse in South Dakota, Dan?
Yes. Now, the other candidates I'm going to bring up aren't Ron Paul folks. They were a little bit misguided down that Rick Santorum road, but they're the ones who are just a breath away. We're just a breath away. But a lot of folks in South Dakota, a few good names here are Stace Nelson. He was really kind of quarantined off by the House last year because he stood up for limited government, especially when it came to Obamacare. Isaac Latterell down in the Sioux Falls area, also a very principled person. His website actually 2 years ago when he ran was wearethekings.com, because his firm belief, similar to mine, is that we're the kings of our own castle, that he's an advocate of the Constitution. I don't know if he just hasn't looked into enough of Ron Paul or is afraid to come out with that publicly. Those two are the two that come right off the top of my head that are also great candidates for South Dakota.
Another person asking about Congress or Senate in South Dakota. Do you know any of the other candidates in South Dakota for Congress or the Senate, Dan? If not, we can end it there. I know we've been picking your brain pretty hard tonight, too.
Are you talking U.S. or U.S. Senate and Congress?
South Dakota, yeah.
Oh, for senators, I think we got no hope there. But like I said, there are some good candidates running in the House, but I can't think of any senators that are real staunch Liberty folks. So a couple more I just thought of in the House: Manny Steele, Lance Russell, Brian Liss. Brian Liss is a representative from Sioux Falls. He's not running again this year, but he actually publicly came out and supported Ron Paul in a press release. So my hat's off to him. Not my hand off. That'd be kind of weird.
Well, I think we'll end it there. I hope everyone's had their questions answered. If not, that just means we have to have Dan come on next time. Tell us how much we've gotten donated for him, how much more he needs, so we can make sure that we get him into office and actually represent people of South Dakota and hopefully influencing more people to become like him and actually not be afraid to speak out if you are a law enforcement officer, to not be afraid, I guess, to be more like Dan. So Dan, do you want to speak at Paul Fest?
It would take a lot of scheduling changing around him, and God dang, that would be just the highlight of probably my life. But I wouldn't be able to commit like anything to that at this point. I need to take a look at the dates and all that stuff. But again, Matt, thanks for having me on. Everybody out there, thanks for being a part of this liberty movement, this revolution. And we just gotta keep on keeping on, get out there, and forgive me, but we gotta go out there and kick some ass. So thanks so much.
Thanks for coming on, Dan. Have a good night. Well, guys, that is the end of the show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I feel it went out a lot better tonight than last week. Be sure, everyone, call Harry Reid. Get that man on the line. Send him an email, voicemail, whatever you have to do. Just get the message to him. Remind him 1995 and 1996. You wanted to audit it then. You wanted to show transparency then. Audit it now. So, as always, guys, I'm matlarson10. Go Ron Paul. Peace.